Comment 1415 is a simple comment. It tells you to be more careful. Now, when you hear that comment, you should think. That's easier said than done. So that means that I have to give you some advice basically on how to be more careful. Well, one thing is to try and understand the types of question where you tend to lose your carefulness. If you get comment 81 a lot, that means that arithmetic is an issue for you, and therefore in a non-calculator setting you should be extremely careful with negatives and so on. Even in a calculator setting, it means that you need to be very careful using the calculator, making sure you understand the difference between the minus button and the negative button, etc. Another way to be more careful is to check your work, checking that it's sensible. So a question about the average monthly earnings of a 15-year-old really shouldn't be spitting out £100,000. A question about a duration of time shouldn't be spitting out a negative answer. And of course there are other ways to check your answer as well. For example, at the end of a equation, you substitute back in just to check that it makes the original equation true. Now, I guess the third thing I'd say is that often you can simply be more careful simply by deciding that that's the type of person you want to be, and deciding that you don't want to be the kind of person who rushes through things. Now, this completely depends on the student. Some students know that their chances of making silly mistakes are sufficiently low if they work slightly faster than normal, and that this means that therefore it's well worth it to get to those harder questions at the back of the paper so they can spend more time trying to crack those. I would personally say that you shouldn't save time by rushing. You should save time by learning to do things in the most efficient way possible. But of course that's an individual decision. One thing I would recommend that people do is just take a couple of past papers and spend half an hour doing the first 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 easy questions from each paper significantly faster than you'd be comfortable with, and then marking it and seeing what mark you get. If you got 95%, that suggests that you are pretty good at preserving accuracy even when you're working really fast. If you do those questions faster than you are comfortable with and you end up getting 50% because of all your stupid mistakes, then that suggests that comment 1415 really is an issue for you, and that you should be making up your mind not to be rushing.